So everyone, please welcome Carissa Selman. Thank you very much, Carissa.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Jenny. Welcome, everyone. So glad you're here. I will note that I am traveling today, this weekend, and maybe you heard me mention the cat perches on this little shelf here sometimes. So I may get some helpers while I'm here. So on that note, let's just take a few minutes to settle in, kind of have a little bit of an arriving exercise is what I call it. Noticing the space that we're in, which is presumably different from the space we were in earlier today or even yesterday. So as you're in your chairs and adjusting yourself comfortably, start to notice the room, the qualities of the room, like the temperature. If there's any breeze or airflow you can sense. Using all of your exterior senses to just orient the body to the space it is in now. Might be smells or sounds. If you're keeping your eyes open, you could even do kind of a neck turn around, just allowing the eyes to take in kind of the full range of what you see. And then returning your head to a comfortable position, keeping your eyes open if you like. You can also close them completely or rest them in kind of a soft focus at a 45-degree angle. The instructions I'm giving mainly apply to the folks who are joining from the planetarium, but I hope they're also useful for folks who may watch later on YouTube. So wherever you are, noticing the room and the space that you're in, and then taking just a few deep intentional breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth, however is comfortable for you. Maybe just exploring what is the full range of the breath in this moment. Much of the time, we don't tend to breathe deep into the belly every moment. A lot of times we're more up breathing from the chest. And so you might just explore, how is it to breathe deep into the belly? Maybe letting out a sigh or a yawn. And once you've taken those few deep intentional breaths, just allow the breathing to return to its natural, uncontrived pace. We're not going to try to focus the breath or control the breath in any particular way. There are many, many meditation forms, and there are breath-specific ones that do that. But today we're just going to let the breath come and go as it pleases. A long breath is a long breath, and a short breath is a short breath. And just as we were previously using our external senses to orient ourselves to the room that we're in and to the space we're in, Now turning towards our inner senses, noticing the qualities of body and mind in this moment. Maybe we're arriving from a very busy morning, and there's still some busyness, busyness of the mind. A lot of times I use the example of pouring a glass of carbonated water or soda, some kind of a fizzy beverage, and there will be lots and lots and lots and lots of bubbles all up at the top. But if you let it sit for 30 minutes or a few hours or overnight, it will go flat and quiet. That's kind of checking in. What's the fizziness level of the mind right now? Also, any emotions that might be present as well. It's kind of a neutral day, or if there's some worry about how things are going to go later. Or just a sense of ease and happiness, maybe some relief to be sitting in a really comfortable chair, looking up at a beautiful sky. Whatever you notice in the internal landscape, mentally or emotionally, all of that is welcome. We don't shut off our life outside of mindfulness practice. Our whole life is a wonderful ground for practice. And so pieces may be difficult and pieces of it may be very easy and pleasant. And we do our best to welcome them all, or at least allow them to be present, perhaps with a sense of curiosity and just a willingness to be with things as they are. We can also notice how the body feels. Maybe do a little scan from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. And I want to mention that any of the instructions that I'm giving today are just suggestions. If something I propose doesn't work for you, you should feel free to just let it go. The most important thing to know is that the space that you're in is safe and you're completely in charge, whether you participate in the ways I suggest or not. But starting at the top of the head, you might just notice through the body, scanning down, any places where perhaps you tend to hold tension and tightness. Sometimes I notice that my scalp is actually tight because I'm perked up my ears in a particular way. Or maybe there's tension in the jaw or the neck and shoulders. You could just give that a A gentle stretch, yawn, roll the shoulders back. Again, sensing into what is present in the body in the moment. You could notice all the points of contact that your body makes with the chair. Allowing yourself to be completely supported, sinking into the chair a bit. Maybe you notice a heaviness of your arms or your hands if they're resting in your lap. Sensing that weight and stillness. And part of this practice is to invite in this sense of stillness and calm. But that doesn't mean that we're forcing the body to stay rigid or perfectly still in any way. We're not trying to trap the body or mind. It's more just of an inviting to rest and to be still for a moment and see what that's like. And if any point you need to move to just make yourself even 2% more comfortable, please feel free to do that. Often, partway through a practice, we start to notice how we've settled in, or maybe one shoulder is still tightened up and bracing. If you notice any of those spots in the low back, the hips, on down through the legs, your seat, any place that you're noticing any kind of tension, you could just invite it to soften, relax, shift a little bit if that's going to help. And then bringing the awareness on down through the knees and the lower legs, the ankles and feet on the ground. Noticing the points where the feet make contact. And so returning the attention to the breath, but again, not controlling it in any particular way. You might notice the sensations of breathing. Notice where you can sense into the breath most easily. For most people, that's in the nose or the chest or the belly. And we often use breath as an anchor, like a boat uses an anchor to keep from drifting away. We invite the mind to focus on the breath and the sensations of breathing, just as a way to keep the mind here in the present moment. You might notice a sense of coolness on the inhale through the nose, or the warmth of the exhale on the upper lip. Or the rise and fall of the torso, expansion of the rib cage, feeling the breath in the body. And as we use the breath as an anchor point, inevitably the mind will wander. And that is what the mind does. It's completely normal. The mind might be following a thought or a story. And suddenly you realize, oh, I'm not noticing my breath. And this is that really juicy place of practice. Because again, we're not trapping the mind. We're not expecting the fizzy glass of water to instantly go still. The moment that you've noticed that you're thinking, that the mind has wandered, there's that place to just be as curious and kind as possible. Like, oh, thinking. And then return the mind to the anchor of the breath. And this may happen over and over again. And you might get impatient with the mind, irritated in some way. And that's also completely normal. You can just notice that. Oh, thinking. And then, impatient. Or whatever it is that may follow up that awareness that your mind has wandered. And just like you would with a toddler or a puppy, you would just kindly redirect it back to where you would like it to be focused. And this may happen over and over. And that's what we are developing. We're cultivating this mindful awareness, not just of the breath, but of what the mind does, so that we can respond, have a little bit of spaciousness and respond to the moment rather than react. If your mind has begun to wander away from the breath, and you're noticing that you're thinking, and if you're noticing a response, a reaction to that thought, you're noticing a feeling about the fact that your mind has wandered, you can also get curious about that. You can offer the mind to anchor into, I'm impatient. Or, I'm irritated. Or, haha, look at me, I'm thinking again. That's kind of funny. And you can allow the mind to explore that for however long it keeps your attention, and then return to the breath. And for now, as we come to the end of our practice, I invite you to do that little scan of the breath and the body and the mind. That interior scan. What is the landscape like now? Is it any different from when you first sat down? And maybe not. But just noticing how approximately 30 minutes of stillness and quiet have affected that glass of water, that glass of fizzy water. Maybe there's a few less bubbles. And when you're ready, I invite you to shift the attention outwards again, towards the room, the space that we're in, wiggling the fingers and toes, opening the eyes if they've been closed, and giving a few shoulder rolls, and inviting the body into whatever motion and activity comes next. And I hope that you can carry some of this stillness with you throughout the day. Maybe it was nourishing in some way for you, and that is helpful for you and everyone you meet. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate it. Everybody, thank you very much. If you're a faculty member that needs Flex, please come and sign the sign-in sheet here. If there's anybody online that needs Flex, faculty member-wise, make sure you sign in so I can get you the proper Flex form. So thank you very much. We will do this again next Monday, same time, same place. So Carissa, thank you very much. And thank you very much.
Thanks,
Have a great day.
Jason.
Okay,
Take
thank
care.
you.
You too.
All right,
Bye.
bye-bye.